Oh, there we are.
Oh. So this is where we pretend that we don't know it's live. Tony, how's your head? And I don't mean the one in your trousers.
I'm fine. It's just my back and neck are quite painful today.
You've had like a little accident, haven't you?
Yeah, it was quite bad. Oh, I guess disappeared.
This isn't going very well, is it?
Oh, it is LDO. What do you expect? Oh shit! Here we go. Here's Tony fucking that up as well. Honestly, I pressed down on volume, but no. Oh, there it goes.
Shall we just wait for him to connect, then disconnect again?
Ignore that. Little signs, ignore them. They can go away.
Yeah, it immediately doesn't work when we go live.
Oh, it says live stream without to start. That normally means
don't worry.
to go.
Don't worry.
Fine.
Ignore that.
No, that's fine. That's good now.
That means it's working.
Yeah.
Tony, it seems like you've been ill for the past, 3 months. What's going on with you, man?
I'm not ill. I've got over my illness. I can taste and breathe again. I just had a crash on my bike, which was not nice.
On your cycle? Like your
mountain bike, not like you make it sound like a pedal round the town or something on a penny farm.
No, I thought you meant like motorbike or something like that.
No, I had a big crash on my mountain bike yesterday and smashed my head into a tree. And I'm so glad I was wearing a helmet because my helmet is so dented.
You need a new one, to put it mildly.
I need a new helmet, yes.
Every time you join, you need to unmute yourself.
It's my back and neck what's hurts, but
I'm liking the facial hair tones.
I'm unmuted, yeah. No.
Is it good? I don't know what to do. Cool. Keep it or not. I've even bought beard oil.
Beard oil.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Right. Hello and welcome to another fantastic episode of Let's Drone Out. Tonight you are... Oh, for fuck's sake, Carl.
Carl! It's not his fault. I have a strong feeling he's northern, so I can relate to the internet connection.
I wonder he's got no subscribers.
For those of you with an international persuasion, this is why we complain about the internet in the UK.
Well, at least we're not getting fucked in the ass like by Comcast.
My head's all right, guys in the chat. It's my
Tone,
and back hurt.
You smacked your head on the cupboard, then lost your smell, and then you decided to drive yourself into a tree. If Carl disconnects again, I'm just going to eat Walker's squares for the rest of the show. You know that.
What, loudly?
Yeah. Well, no, I'll mute myself at least, but you'll just see me there comfort eating.
Carl, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
This.
Sounds good.
This is supposed to be fiber optic cable.
I wonder if you turn your video off, we can at least get your audio cleaner. Give that a try. At the bottom, turn your video up. See if that works.
I mean, like, what kind of
the red button or the little camera?
Not the red button.
No, the camera.
Yeah.
Because it's coming through at about we're getting about 4 frames per 10 seconds, so it's
per hour.
Yeah.
Is your computer a potato?
Where do you live? Up north. We can hear you.
That sounds better.
I think that's probably the best we're gonna get. Oh, but you've come back. No, you don't have to reveal where you're. I wouldn't recommend revealing your location, but in the UK,
I'm gonna dip out for one back. Me boot the router. Of course, how high? Right. Is it at the back?
Yeah, LAN cable.
You see,
Start the show back. Start it, and then you just say, "And this guy's coming on as well."
This is why I'm directly connected. I don't use Wi-Fi. You see, direct connection.
Go.
Hello and welcome to another fantastic episode of Let's Drone Out. Tonight we are joined by Andy RC,
Good evening.
Andrew / Frank, whose fault this is,
Good evening.
my little Tony,
Bonjour.
and me, who doesn't want to live anymore.
While we're waiting for Carl to join us, shall I read out the legal notice?
Yeah.
Yeah, where's Carrie?
Any views expressed by any guests on the show are personal and may not reflect the views of the hosts or any participant of the show.
Amen.
Yeah.
I think we should say amen after it every time.
Well, seeing as I've spent most of the day watching Carl's video, shall I pretend to be Carl and then you can ask me some questions?
Why is Carl on the show, Frank? Who is he? How did you find him? What's he about? We'll just interview you through.
Why have you made this decision? So
it seemed like a good idea.
I don't know. I can't remember how I stumbled across his videos originally, but I saw a couple of them and thought they were really fun and interesting. They're kind of like, they remind me of the old RC Powers videos, if anyone remembers back that far, like pre-flight test.
He had a really good, RC Powers was on a good podcast where he used to give out.
Better than this.
And it was good. Yeah, it was miles better. He actually learned something. It was great.
Like we've been around. Whoa, Darnome.
Buy better fiber optics. Oh, Darnome, hey, how you doing, little buddy? Man,
Australian bucks, I think, or Austrian. I don't know.
Whatever it is, it's worth more than our money now.
Yeah, when Brexit kicks in, please keep us afloat, like literally.
Fraser's saying he can't hear me. Can you hear me?
Beans on toast for everyone.
I can hear you.
It says
He's not talking as much as he usually does.
Can't hear you, Andy. Does he mean which Andy though?
Who knows?
Yeah, Fraser, which Andy can't you hear, mate?
Oh God.
I might as well answer it. It shows great. Hello. I'm live on the internet. Don't be you. Yeah.
You.
Thanks, Darnome. Anyway, Jack will be lighting stuff for you.
Jack's on the phone whilst lighting sparklers. I'm sure this won't go wrong whatsoever. So we've got Carl back.
Mute Jack, so he just friends. What are you doing, dog?
No, I just missed you, that was all.
Oh my God, this is brilliant.
Dave says I can hear everyone.
I'm POV, so I can't really swear anyway.
Oh, good. You're live on the internet.
Like literally,
where's that mute button for Jack? It's around here somewhere. One of these tabs, and
mute him.
Mute it.
What are you doing, dog? What are you doing? No, you know.
Hopefully, Carl can unmute himself and we can interview him.
Sorry about that, guys. I just thought it'd be somewhat amusing. Right, shall we restart the show from here?
Oh, no, there goes Carl again.
This is so LDO. It's bloody brilliant. Did you tell him to do this? Literally, he's like,
yes.
Well, what I could do is like I could come on and go off and make it like a
highly choreographed.
Tony, ask me a question.
What?
Tony, ask me a question.
What size T-shirt are you? Because I think I got you the wrong one.
I am.
Brilliant.
He did a thing. Then why are you buying each other T-shirts? What's going on?
Well, I got a second-hand pump for my birthday.
What? That needs some context.
Swedish-made penis enlarger pump. Is it because you two are buying pajamas for each other in case you stop over at each other's places?
I'd never stop at Jack's.
Anyway, back to the topic. I wanted to invite
Sorry.
That's a bottom joke. Plot.
What there is of it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Frank.
Go on, Frank.
So his videos, remind me of kind of RC Power's pre-flight test kind of videos, where it's not kind of all about production value and fancy looking graphics or anything, and it's just really like you're with them in the field doing some daft silly things with some things that fly. So he's been doing like a load of stuff with the little gliders, making them RC, bungee launched, all that kind of thing. Been making biplanes and things out of them as well. But a load of other stuff as well that isn't sort of necessarily model flying.
That was going to be my opening question. Where did your love for littles start? But he's not here to answer the question. But there's a lot of people actually in my club that got those little gliders. They're fantastic. Even if if you go off a hill and just chuck them, they fly for absolutely ages, without a bungee. So in one of his videos, he's got like how does he describe it, Andy? Is it
military bungee?
I'm not quite sure what military bungee means, but I also he stuck a motor on there, didn't he? And they got, I think, servos and everything, and sort of got it flying. But now Jack's muted. Jack, why can't we hear Jack? You're muted now.
I forgot to unmute it from when I rejoined.
Well,
Carl, just say anything.
What, through hotspot?
What was that?
Yeah, I tried going through mine and it was quicker, but I've got like 15% battery left, it'll be gone. Do it through that then.
Oh.
Fraser's donated.
No,
I've heard.
it's a podcast. You need a camera.
There's a camera. Oh, yeah.
No, it won't. It's got to go more.
God, we haven't even got a lighter that works on this show anymore.
But we've got Patreons. What are they doing? Why have we got patrons? I'm so sorry that we've got patrons. Sorry, everyone.
We've got 60 people watching this.
Thanks, Fraser.
Thank you.
I think me and Andy are doing pretty well describing Carl, though.
We're setting the scene for when he can make it.
Plastic bags.
If he can make it. If he can't, then I thought he's got. So what's his channel first of all?
It is Rclabbotics.
Rclabbotics, yeah. And the first one that caught my eye was the little bungee thing. And my other question was, are the Aldi ones any better? Because I don't know. I don't think Aldi sell them actually. But he did like a little biplane as well, didn't he? And prop hanging it and stuff. And there's a few people in our club that have those ideas, and he's off doing it. I think have a feeling he's local to me as well. So I wanted to, and like he's got green hair, and it's like, that's I'm all for that.
Did you light anything for our not Aries, sorry.
Thank you, Fraser. Yeah, sorry. I was trying to find a lighter that worked.
Fraser Steen says, everyone hit like at Bright Until I Fly, rubbing two sparklers together.
No.
I think we should have a little shout out. I'm going to have a shout out while we're here. I'm going to go from the bottom up. So we've got Aries in the chat, Rob Britton's in the chat, Fraser Steen, thank you. Mr. Fruity Cakes, Double A, what's up? Harry Haggis, Numbskull FBV says evening perverts. How does he know? How do they know this? Oh, get those.
How do you know these things?
How do you know these? I'm deaf. Bill M's in the chat, Spider. Slider, Double A, have I said that? Fruity Cakes. Bill M, what's up, Bill? Richard Warwick, Jibber Jabber, Aries, have I said that? I'm going back down to the bottom. Jerry Squire, what's up? 420 FPV, Southwest Kitty. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining this great show. Get me again and I come find you, says Gary. Numbskull FPV. Right. My head's okay, Dave Story. My back is hurting.
So, Tony, between smacking your head into kitchen drawers and falling off your bike, have you managed to do any flying in between? I saw a little snippet on Instagram that said secret time. And I saw, so it looked like some sort of Nissan drift car or something. What was all that about?
Can't really talk about it, but I had fun the weekend.
He was
I was
women.
I was asking about the drift car, not what you got up to at the weekend.
No.
That'd be telling. Thank you, Aries, for a 10.
Maybe we should have really bad shows where they're like, guys, don't podcast, just light things on fire.
Thank you, Aries, for a £10 donation. Light them up, Jack.
Yo. Oh, it's starting to really stink in here.
We can have a talk about it when, we can do a podcast about it and I can talk about it probably the end of October. But
that's soon. That's pretty cool.
How did your date go, Tone?
Date went well tonight. Thank you very much.
Oh, I'm proud of you, buddy.
You had a date?
Yeah, totally.
With a real woman or what?
Yeah, man. Didn't have a beard or anything.
Yes, I had a date. First time in a long time.
A Tinder one?
A medjool one.
Yeah, I actually did meet her on Tinder and then went to WhatsApp and then chatted for a week and then when I met her.
That's amazing, mate.
And she's still alive.
That's not why he crashed his bike, is it? Because he was panicking, taking the evidence.
I was so chilled, man. No, she's not buried in the woods yet.
No.
Wow. Would you like some vaguely drone-related news?
Yeah.
Yes.
Frank, how have you been, mate? I haven't heard from you because me and you used to have like little chats and stuff and like, how are you? And I had something to look forward to at the weekend to go to Sausage Model Centre. And
is that what it's called?
No, it's called Sussex Model Centre.
I know, but do we call it Sausage Model Centre?
Yeah, I accidentally, was it me who accidentally called it Sausage Model Centre?
Probably.
And it just kind of stuck.
It fits.
Yeah, I don't know. I must talk about food all the time.
Hello, Carlos FBV. Just join the chat.
Yeah, Frank, give us some drone chat then. If you're not going to tell it.
Vaguely drone-related chat. So FPV UK have been working on a new system that allows people, so club organisers or event organisers to check membership status. So a bit like is the sort of the old one with the BMFA, but FPV UK have got one now. So it means that it makes it a lot easier for club organisers and event organisers to be able to kind of deal with FPV UK insurance and be assured that it's all ready and there. And so Avon Vale Model Flying Club, which is the one up by Ragley Hall, I think, have opened their doors to new members who are FPV UK members and not necessarily BMFA members. So this might be kind of a new thing that's happening a lot more. Is because clubs aren't part of the BMFA; they're affiliated with the BMFA, but they're still their own thing. So we might be seeing more clubs being open to people that just have FPV UK insurance and no BMFA insurance. So that might be of interest to some people.
Well, if you turned up and had BMFA insurance, would they say sorry? No,
no, of course not.
Okay, fair enough.
It's just they're kind of opening the doors to other people. I'm saying particularly because when we get new people joining, and unless they join in December or January or whenever it is that the BMFA membership starts, you end up paying for like a whole year when you only get, if lots of people kind of get there during the summer, and so you only get half a year's worth out of it. Whereas FPV UK starts and runs for a year from whenever you start.
Welcome.
Volume on me. Oh my god.
Welcome.
The volume on my headphones is all the way up. Did you
Well,
catch
we can
that?
definitely
Emily?
hear you now.
Hello, Kyle. You're live on the internet.
It's Carl, Jack, not Kyle.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, guys, can you see me?
Oh yeah, there we go.
Did you move
Awesome.
country?
No, I changed laptops.
That is
Excellent.
Right, talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to get a beer.
Going to touch himself. Look away.
So, Carl, while you've been trying to get your internet sorted, we've been trying to interview you as if you were here, but it's great. It's great that you are here now. So, my opening question, which I've already asked Andy,
Right.
is where did your love for Lidl start?
Probably all the people. It was very, very popular last year, and I probably missed it by maybe a month. I went into Lidl and I said, "Oh, you got any more of them Lidl gliders?" No, we're all out of stock. Sorry. And then I made sure when they came back in stock this year that I was there for the fad, and it's pretty good for YouTube because since I've been typing Lidl glider into the into the titles, the videos have just been going up and up and up and up.
Yeah, absolutely. In my club, actually, it's quite a popular thing, and people are buying these little gliders, but just using them to chuck off a hill, really. And people have talked about, wonder if you could add servos and a motor and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you went and did it. What's with this military grade bungee? What's a military grade bungee? It just looked like a bungee cord.
That guy in the video, he's not ex-military, but he has done a few contracts for military in the past. And I was using 300 elastic bands, I think, to just slingshot the thing. He said, "Well, I've got a proper military thing up there." I said, "What's that?" And it's just red silicone cord. You can buy it from anywhere, but apparently it's what the military boys use to slingshot the UAVs in Afghanistan and things like that.
Wow. Okay. So,
Are you
yeah.
Usually saying middle or little?
Lidl, as in
the shop.
As in the shop.
Oh, right. I kept saying
The German shop. The
Right.
Germans.
I get you.
I was also interested in your location because your accent sounds familiar to me. But are we going to start the show again? Like for the
28 minutes late.
No, just keep rolling.
We're not.
No.
Okay. Just keep rolling.
Yeah.
So,
Why do you get to make the decision?
Well, do you want to do it, Jack? Go on then.
Hello and welcome back to another wonderful episode of welcome back to just an episode of Let's Drone Out. Tonight we are joined by Andy RC.
Good evening.
Andrew / Frank.
Hello.
My little Tony.
Bonjour.
Carl from Rclabbotics, is that right?
That's all. Hola.
And I'm Jack, Bright Until I Fly. Hello.
Editor, put this at the front and scrap everything else.
Sorry,
half an
guys.
hour
I'm so sorry.
Carl, where did you get that laptop from? Lidl?
So this is the one that wouldn't work. HP, don't buy this, but it's because it runs on Windows 8 and I hate Windows 8. It's a laptop that thinks it's a touchscreen laptop, but it's not. It's a notebook.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on. It's good to have you here.
Worries. Glad to be here.
Yeah, I was saying.
Subscribe because.
Yeah, because I saw like a few of your videos popped up, and I kind of watched one after the other, and thought, these like remind me of the RC Powers videos, like back in with that kind of feeling of being on the field with someone who's got these wacky ideas and actually having a go, and you don't know whether they're going to work or not.
That's exactly what I'm aiming for.
It definitely comes through, and I was just like, thought these are great, and then look at the subscriber count, like, well, that can't be right. What's happened there? Because
subscribing now, just done.
Yeah,
just done the bell button.
Thanks very much, bud.
Because I'm a fatty, What is a food plane I've gone crackers?
So that is you're all familiar with Peter Shreepall, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think he did it with William Osmond. They literally made a plane out of crackers. Obviously, it's never going to fly because there's no lift or anything. So I thought, what would it take to actually make it fly? I tried my hardest to make a fuselage out of crackers. It's not possible. Crackers just want to crumble all the time, especially when you've had them with super glue. they just don't want to form into any kind of fuselage. So I cheated a little bit, and I basically just got an FT racer. It was an FT speed build kit racer, and I just stuck a bunch of food all over the top of it, crackers on the side, ice cream wafers on the top. I tried to make it look like I glued it together with chocolate, but it was brown paint. I definitely cheated on that video. So it's not made of food, but I tried to make it look like
I didn't see that
gingerbread aesthetic.
I didn't see that one. All I know is that when I have normal crackers, just putting butter on them makes them break. So yeah,
I quite prefer my crackers raw. People think it's quite weird that I'll eat these competitions where people eat all 15 and they're like, oh, I could tan 15 crackers easily.
Get some crackers now.
I love having my mouth dead dry.
Drink some lemonade and then eat some 15 crackers.
I eat crackers with nothing on. This is what I'm saying. I think
it's so northern.
I think we are close.
This is how we survive the winter,
isn't it?
Carl, don't give away your exact location, but in England,
where are you?
South, Midlands, North.
It'd be Midlands.
Yeah.
So north then.
I thought so. Would I be right in saying Macclesfield way?
I don't know how close Macclesfield is to me. Is that anywhere near Manchester?
Yes.
Yeah. I won't give the full location away, but I'm between Liverpool and Manchester.
That's
not where my accent comes from. So my accent comes from my mother was Welsh. My father he was a Liverpudlian. So it's half Scouse.
Yeah. So
wow.
So
real tonight show people.
So where Kelsey FPV is from?
What part of Wales was your mum from?
Carnarvon.
Come on! Oh my! I worked 1 week in the Royal Ivy Bush Hotel in Carmarthenshire.
Yeah. I went.
Sorry, editor. I went fucking batshit mental. There's nothing there. There's nothing. There's one McDonald's. That's it.
Do you judge?
No wonder you make stuff out of crackers.
Do you judge a place, Jack, by how many McDonald's are there? Because
it was the only thing I found.
Well, Carl's managing exactly. Well, you know,
he's not there anymore, so he's probably all right now.
Oh, right. Yes, fair enough. Yes, I'm guessing the place begins with a W. Then, where you're from. I'll leave it there.
I'm trying to get down to his postcode here, Andy.
You mean the Wirral? No, I'm not from the Wirral.
No, not there. No,
a little bit closer.
Yeah, no, it's because I'm sort of around that area. So, but no, I was saying before we started the show that I
time.
Well, yeah, exactly. No, before anything went live and is publicly on the internet, I went and watched your videos today because it just intrigued me, and also I like the alternative green hair look and stuff as well. You know, so yeah.
I've got a question. So, do you get on all right with flight test stuff?
The speed build kits, yeah. I've tried doing a scratch build. Unless you've got for every single cut, unless your knife is completely sharp for every single cut, it's gonna skew and it's gonna go off in the wrong way. So I like having a speed build kit. You pull out the thing, score bing bang bong, bit of hot glue, and you can go and take it for a flight in the same day. That's what I like about them, and they're inexpensive. Yeah.
Oh my god! Sorry.
Quickest way to dry a hot glue, to take it for a fly.
The quickest way I found is the air can dusters.
Yeah.
Turn them upside down. That dries glue very quickly. That's a Jimmy Dirista. Is that how you say his name?
Just don't do it near a naked flame.
Yeah. So Jimmy trick.
So we should ask Carl the standard question: how did you get into all of this? Where did it start?
How hard does it go?
FPV for me probably started when, I'm not sure what year it was, but it would have been when the DJI F450 came out. I remember I was at Western Park, and Fast Lads, they were absolutely selling like hotcakes. So we got one, brought it home, built it. The next day it was flying, and then it just built from there. We went to TVS stuff, Discovery Pro, and then the video, I think, for the mini quads for racing. I don't know if any of you remember. It's quite a very popular video. I'm not sure whose video it is, but it was in the woods, and it was the wood kid run boy running.
Metal Danny.
Yeah, that's the one. I think it's got like 6 million views, something like that. It's got a lot of views, and I remember seeing that, and I've got to get me a piece of that. So it was within a couple of weeks of that we started getting fossil stuffs in, and started getting a lot more mini quad frames in.
Cool.
Tony's ears just pricked up. Fossil stuff.
Yeah,
See, I know Tones that I've been watching his X Class stuff for a while, and woo, that's
thanks.
Yeah, but there's one thing, Carl, that you're going to be surprised about, Tony.
What?
What's that?
Well, I watched a video of yours today disproving the flat Earth theory. Well, guess what? Tony's a flat earther.
Really?
Yeah, unfortunately,
he's
dirty flat earther. He's
an flat earther. So then the rest of the show is going to be you convincing why Tony it's round.
To be brutally honest, I don't care what anyone believes. I'll be completely honest now. That video was purely for clickbait, if you like. I'm just trying to. It's this whole thing with YouTube now. It doesn't matter. It doesn't seem to matter how good your content is. It doesn't seem to how much effort you put into a video. What matters to YouTube is interaction with your channel. So if people aren't interacting with your channel, then that literally was just to grind some gears and try and get some comments coming onto the channel, and it kind of worked because the stats did go up that month.
What was that?
We should be doing great then.
No, what do you mean we ignore our chat?
No,
I was on a stream the other time.
Thumbs down is interaction, surely. It doesn't need to be thumbs up, does it? It's interaction.
Even thumbs down works. Yeah. YouTube doesn't care what it says. It just says interaction with the channel.
I like that, Carl, because I did something different. I undid the sunset. So I waited for the sun to set. Then I took a DJI model and just went up high enough. And of course, because the Earth is round, the sun comes back up, and it's like, what more proof do you need, kind of thing. But oh man, you do those kind of videos, and you got a bit of a following. That you're gonna get some.
Like my next video is going to be called Flat Earth Flying.
Interact here, bitches. All right. Hello, Jerry.
How do you explain me undoing the sunset tone? Oh, you think it's all a computer hologram thing, don't you?
We're all in a simulation, anyway.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God.
Top scientists think we're in a simulation.
Why am I stuck with you?
Scientists don't think we're in the simulation. They say if we are, we're probably...
You can prove we're not. You're so involved that you think you are real.
Right,
I'm not involved.
Computer program.
Carl, now that we have Carl back, here, I think we should talk to him.
Sorry, Carl.
Sorry, Frank.
I am enjoying this. I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah, because I saw the flat Earth video, and it was the greatest explanation. A sphere is the most efficient shape. Anyways,
what is with my life?
Well,
you got one, right?
Because Carl, you also on the channel. You're with pretty much every video. I think you're pushing your giveaways that you do, which might encourage a load more subscribers.
I've actually become late on the last giveaway. I was supposed to do the last giveaway 10 days ago. I really haven't been well. Do it now. I need to go through a bunch of subscribers and see, which we put them into a hat or something, and then choose. But yeah, I think the latest one I'm giving away is a rubber band gun and some little ball bearings that spin round with an LED, and it looks pretty cool.
Do you do your giveaways on YouTube? Because I didn't see any of those. But
I try and I'll put them at the end of a video. So basically, if a subscriber or a viewer has given me the time to watch to the end of the video, I'll let them, because if you put it at the start of the video, then they could just subscribe to your. I don't want subscribers just for the sake of having subscribers. I want people that are gonna enjoy my content. I don't care if I've got 100,000 subscribers or 100 subscribers. If the 100 subscribers are enjoying the content, and 999 subscribers would be just commenting that they don't like the content, what's the point if they just wanted to win a prize? But yeah,
that's a good way to look at it. Absolutely.
Do you ever travel down south? Would you be up for coming to
where the hot weather is and stuff?
Yeah, like closer to the equator.
Yeah.
That apparently we don't have. There's a thing called the mini air show. I wondered if would like to hang out with us, maybe.
Yeah. When's that?
That'd be the 16th and 17th of May, 2020.
Oh, is there a date now?
Yeah,
that sounds like a lot of fun. So I could pop down.
Or if you happen to find your way here sooner, and that might be a good laugh.
But yeah, I need to take a trip down south because the 28 years I've been on this planet, I've never been lower than say. Do you know what, Liverpool? I've been much higher, but I've never been to London or anywhere like that.
You might get a tan if you come down here.
My God, your mind will be blown.
I tell you what, no,
you've got cash machines and everything.
I almost was going to come down the. I don't know if you've seen it was Model World. It was some War World for model thing that was on BBC. They asked me to be in that, and it came to the point where we want you to book 10 days off of work and all this. Book the 10 days off, and then 3 days before I was due to, go down to London, they said, "Oh, we don't need you anymore." So I was like, "Oh, thanks very much for that." But I was quite looking forward to, just not being on TV, but coming down to London because I've seen it all on TV and it looks exciting, but.
Well, rank will tell you otherwise. Like if you watch a film called Compton, it's more like that. Oh, hello. Oh no, I think that's the solicitor. Stop talking now. Okay.
Hang on a second. You have been further than south than Liverpool because you mentioned Weston Park. We all go to Weston Park.
Yeah, I thought that was up Yorkshire way.
No, Weston Park's Midlands. So
I've never driven myself there. It's always my dad that's driven me there.
Do you go every year, Weston Park?
We used to up until maybe the last 3 years. We haven't gone.
Those are the last 3 years.
I've been a bit busy with. So alongside the YouTube channel, I'm part of a production company, and I'm an actor, if you like. We've been putting together a few things for the last. We'll be going on 11 months now. We're almost ready to start releasing it. That's taken up quite a lot of my time. Hopefully, I want to go Weston Park next year. The thing that's put my dad off the last couple of years is it's going down there. It's quite a way for us. So if we come to camp, it's quite a lot for the camping. But the only reason we used to go back in the day was show prices. Everything you could either haggle with things, or things weren't as expensive as they were in the shops. We'll go Weston Park and we'll buy all our kits there. And then they started bumping up the prices for the vendors. And then obviously the vendors can no longer do show prices. So that just sort of put us off. We only sort of went to buy cheap kits and then look at some airplanes.
Do you know what they do now? They do a bring and buy thing. So you can...
Yeah, I've been part of that a few times. But the last time we went, the guy wasn't too happy with us. So I think we were on our way in. Or no, sorry, we're on our way out. We'd already paid our prices. It didn't get sold in the Bring and Buy. We were on the way out with it, and somebody collared with us. Oh, I've seen that. Oh, can I buy it off you straight away? And the guy saw this, and I don't think he was very happy that the money hadn't gone through him and then gone through us. It happened right outside the tent. So he had a word with us, but we were like, we paid our dues. It didn't sell inside the tent. It sold outside the tent. That's what people do. I've seen it at the end of the day. They all wait outside the end of the tent so they can haggle with the actual owner, which is, you can't stop people from, doing everything. So just one of them. You just got to be a little bit cheeky.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully the camping prices at Mini Air Show will be a bit better than at Western Park. So
well, I have seen. Is it an annual thing? Have you done it in the last few years? I mean,
yeah. We were up to Mini Air Show 6 next year.
I've seen I have seen things up about it, and there's a few times you said, "Oh, that looks pretty good, decent to go to." But could be
going to be a bit different next year because we're shutting down the manned airfield for the day, and we've got the the runway, so it'll be a bit bigger.
So is that a bit of everything? FPV, planes, and everything, or is it just FPV?
It's going to be a lot of planes. Yeah. Planes, big scale turbine headies. Yeah, there'll be a lot.
Nice.
Yeah, it is.
Hopefully, if it do come down, then I'll bring a few helis with me. I've got a B certificate, so if there's a slot open,
I'm sure there will be.
Fantastic.
I'll definitely drop you an email.
We can arrange that, can't we, Frank?
It is like driving to the sun, though. I will warn you. It's pretty far.
Is it really a lot warmer down there?
Yes. Yeah. You will get a tan, unless Jack sprays you with his white stuff.
First time I went, it threw it down all day.
I've got the pigments of a ginger. I don't know if my mother was with the milkman maybe one time. I can go in the sun for maybe like 15 minutes and I'll burn. Literally factor 50 every half an hour.
You definitely live near Randy.
I told you. I could just tell straight away. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So what's I know it's not drone related.
If you do come down south, you can't say hello to everyone, and
you can't make direct eye contact.
But they're not like Magoo people like me. Hello.
Yeah, like happiness in the morning. You can write off.
But do come down.
Yeah. Sounds like good fun.
Yeah, and last year we did one of these live podcasts from the actual event, which was cool as well.
Might not ever happen again, Frank.
It was brilliant. I loved that.
That was my favourite one.
Time we all get together because it's like halfway between everything.
Well, it's not, but carry on. Takes me 4 hours to get there.
It takes me an hour. And you, it doesn't take 4 hours. You're not that far north.
No, it was 3 hours 45.
Gone a long way because to your house is only 3.5 from here.
Yeah, I think I did it in 3. Yeah, I think something I can't remember. It's a lot. It was a few months ago, but it's great having everyone there. And it started off as FPV, didn't it? And then it's got the entire. It's a strange location because it's a full-scale airfield, but right behind it is a flying club, and it just proves that all of these regulations and stuff like that. It's just we've got a situation where there are the RC planes and FPV happening within
centimeters.
Maybe 100 meters of the runway and they've got special permission, of course, but everything's fine.
The things are tightening up these days, which is some of it's good, some of it's just, there's no come to think of it, not my first pub, but my dad's first pub that he used to take me to, we're talking years back now, before, even 2.4 gigahertz.
Club?
Club, not pub.
Okay. Sorry.
This used to be at Sleep Airfield in Wen.
Wow.
We were on. I think it was runway 22, which was the abandoned runway, and the runway behind us was active all day, every day. Cessnas would be taking off, and we'd be at the bottom of the field, and we'd have a ceiling of about 250 feet. But all day, and Cessnas would be going up, and every now and then we'd have to stop because the RAF had come in with a helicopter and they'd be training. But it's not exactly boring to not have a helicopter hovering 200 feet away from you. So, yeah.
I thought you must have quite a long history of flying, because you do seem to have kind of a bit of everything. You've got the helis, you've got quads, you've got planes, you've got all sorts of different planes as well.
It was maybe 20. I think this will be my 20th year of flying all sorts of model aircraft. Before that, we were into the Mar Dave's RC cars, and we were part of Wrexham RC Car Club. And then after that, my dad was always interested in the aeroplanes, and I just snowballed. I got more and more interested in them. A couple of birthdays, I got my first radar control plane, and then the helicopters came out. Loved the helicopters, and then when the drones came out, and you could physically fly with the model itself, which is pretty much the dream for all of us. That was just ultimate pinnacle. Right, let's do this, and I've been doing it ever since.
How do you feel about the new? People were ditching their FPV quads and going HD FPV. What do you feel about that? Because I know Zoe FPV is like dumped her analog stuff and she's like, I've done it, I've got rid of everything. Once you go, you can't go back, kind of thing.
I have seen a lot of that is, some expensive equipment for, I think it's close, you're going on close to 1,400, isn't it, to convert your entire quad for everything?
I don't think it's that much, is it, Andy? Because you can still use your Tyrannus.
Oh, so you don't have to get a brand new radio then?
No.
The problem is,
okay.
The problem
I don't think people know this.
We're chatting to a chap who's buying gliders from Lidl, is all I'm saying. So yes, it's bloody expensive.
Yeah. See, I've always had. You're talking to a person. My dad had. This is back in the day when these were the best goggles that you could get. Fat Shark Attitudes. He moved on to another pair of goggles, and he said, "Oh, you can use these Fat Shark Attitudes." Used them for a bit. Then I think someone at our club got, and we've used these ever since, Quantum Cyclops, like using a cinema screen. You look absolutely ridiculous when you've got them on, but I don't care. I'm inside it. I'm having fun. They cost 30 quid, massive screen inside them, Fresnel lens so you can move, you can, expand your screen and all this. And my dad said, you can keep these Fat Sharks Attitudes, or I can sell them and I'll buy you a pair of Quantums. And I said, I'll have a pair of Quantums, please. And he sold his Fat Shark Attitudes and bought me a pair of Quantums. And I've been using them ever since. The only problem I do have with them, sometimes is on a hot day, I'll put them down on the ground, and I hate spiders. And spiders always seem to love going behind that lens, and the lens makes spiders go like this. You put them on, and he's like there wearing his clogs. I'm like, oh, absolutely, cake me pants.
So yeah, I mean, I started off because I couldn't justify, the compact, expensive goggles when those Quantum goggles were, what were they, like 10 quid, and then you just had to have your receiver, so that got you going for like 20 quid for a pair of FPV goggles.
Oh, I remember that. There were those ones that came as like foam, and you assembled it.
Is that not the same ones?
So the Quantum V2s, I think I've got.
The V2. One. Yeah.
But and then my friend's got another one which has got an SD card thing. I don't like them purely because there's a few times where he's crashed, and it's sort of good. What it does, it takes a picture and it says this was the last image, and it just freezes that on the screen. But I like to be able to, walk up, and because what I do is I'll cup, if I haven't got a patch antenna on, I'll cup the antenna and I'll scan like this through the field, and you'll see the screen changing. Oh, the quad's over here, and you just keep heading that way, and eventually you will find the quad. And that is literally how I've found all of my quads so far. The quad has got a locator thing on it, but I always do that. Just cup the omnidirectional antenna and just sort of find the way where I'm getting the best signal.
So to go back to the whole DJI thing, going from quantum goggles to the DJI system is expensive, but the cheapest that you can do it for, so you only need the goggles and the camera, and it costs about £650 for the whole lot.
Really?
Which,
that's not that bad then.
Which, if you add up a top-end analog system, it's actually it's cheaper than that. It's 50 quid cheaper than a top-end analog system.
See,
so
have you guys been watching a lot on them then?
Not really. No, I
see it, and I try and stay away from the hype with these things, because there's always, I've seen already, there's just drama. There's people who haven't even seen the product, haven't tried the product, and they'll just gang up on it straight away. And it's like, you can't do that for something that you've not even interacted with. So how can you do that?
So being very humble here when he says he hasn't been watching much on it, because he has produced an hour-long video all about it after weeks and weeks.
Oh my god, it was like Lord of the Rings.
I think I might have to look up on it.
Do you know what I find interesting though? You see, when I posted the video on Facebook, Butt Grinder, I think he said something like, "No, dude, you've done it all wrong. You're supposed to do a reaction video." So there are these reaction videos where, like in America or what they do, or UAV Futures did it recently. They don't review the item. All they do is they give it to somebody, and they say, right, fly it. And then they're like, oh wow, this is next level. This is the best thing I've ever seen. So I thought, I wonder what will happen if I do that here with us being British. And I did it, and they were like, oh yeah, it's pretty good. They're like, but and then I was getting like, but there's a bit, because us British, we'll complain about anything. So it's a little bit of, it's rubbing on my nose a bit, and there's a little bit of light, and I'm like, it's the best image you've ever seen in front of you. It's like, so you will.
We're also talking ourselves out of buying it. That's the problem.
Do you think that's what it is?
Justifying not spending that money.
Because what I found interesting is nobody did the grumpy Trev, F this is the bet, analog is dead. Nobody did that. But at the end, I was like, so will you buy some? And they're like, probably. So there was none of that. This is the best thing since sliced bread. But I think it's a very British thing. Yeah, I think you're right, Andy. To sort of not overreact and sort of go in your head. You're going, this is the shit, but you're like, I can't afford it. So,
well, Dave's story in the chat has reminded me that Bloods, who is sometimes in the chat, has got the Bifrost system. So I might have a chat with him, let him do his week's worth of testing, and I might invite him on next week to have
there's already a video which Andy sent to me that you can check out, but it could potentially be quite biased.
Yes, I know it could, and I've seen the video, but we could ask Bloods to come on and give a,
Yeah.
What we need to do is we need to get Andy and Bloods together, and they can swap for a day.
Do you know what I found interesting though? They say that you shouldn't fly this DJI system around analog. We had no issues whatsoever. In fact, that we had the most number of people doing FPV, and everybody was flying at the same time. No problems. So that was
no limit of bands then that you don't have to use.
Well, the DJI system's got 8 channels. But they just sit just slightly off race band, which is strange. But I think because the digital system is more accurate, that it doesn't have so much of a what would you call it? You know when analog sort of drifts with the frequency. Yeah. I don't think that's happening so much with digital. I think otherwise no one else would have been able to fly, but nobody was saying, we all know what each other's channel we're on. I picked the channel that was closest to my FP, like analog channel, and no problems whatsoever. Yeah.
Nice.
But Bill M in the chat also points out that apart from the relatively expensive DJI system, you've been doing quite a few reviews recently, Andy, of how you can have fun with some less expensive items, which I think also reflects well with the sort of content that Carla's been making.
I think I watched this video today.
Which one's that?
Giggling me tits off.
Which video was that?
Is it is it potato one you're on about?
No, well that's these guys, the potato quadcopter. That's not me.
I don't know the one about.
I think
what Andy's talking
Oh my
about.
god, someone actually watched that.
All the way through. It was amazing.
Man,
What
I
Andy's
want to do
talking-
more stuff with Frank.
What Andy's talking about is we went to nationals this year and we went to the Chuck and Duck or Free Flight.
Oh.
Yeah, so this chap had got this super capacitor Free Flight model, and a club that I'm in has got like an indoor sports hall, so when it rains we can fly indoors. And it costs like £6, and it's the most fun that you can have with £6 unless you go to a Mackey's, but this lasts longer, and it actually makes you thinner because you have to go run after it when it flies up. But I'm well into Free Flight. I absolutely love it. But I also got into RC bikes as well because those started to fan, and they're really cheap. So the glider was the glider was about £6, and then the little mini motorbike thing was £22 from Wheelspin Models. Anyone in the UK watching's got to just get one. They're just amazing. Yeah, they're brilliant.
Oh, look at one of them.
Yeah. So yeah, I've not. That's the thing. Like people say, I'll if it's RC, I'll have a go of it. I still struggle with cars. I know Tony likes his cars. The reason I struggle with cars is I've done so much with full size cars that RC cars. Every time I have a go of it, I'm like, yeah, I kind of get it, but I can do this in my actual car, whereas I haven't got an actual plane or a full size quadcopter, or I die on a bike. So it's only RC cars that I struggle to justify. But I've had a go of them. I see the appeal for sure, definitely.
Yeah. Because I think you did an FPV truggy, right, Carl?
Yeah, I did an FPV buggy. I think that was. It wasn't a very long video. I think it was about a minute long. I should have made a bit big. I know what happened. I took it out. Camera was there. Everything was ready to film. And before I filmed any FPV or filmed any of the actual thing, I flipped it over, and the camera and the antenna was right on the top, and the antenna broke. So then when I tried to film or get the OSD, the SD card from the, the video feed, it wouldn't go more than 5 feet away and I'd lose video. So yeah, basically my own undoing. I should have just put the camera straight down and started recording, but yeah, I flipped it over and so the video ended up around a minute long.
Because Tony's been doing a lot of stuff with RC cars lately.
Yeah, Tony, why are you when you've got the best car that has ever been made in the world in your garage? Why are you into RC cars?
I told you last week. It's a childhood thing that I always wanted, the lunchbox and the frog, and just enjoyed actually being able to afford them and have them and muck about with them. So yeah, it was just a thing that I always wanted to do, really.
Have you been enjoying driving it? Is that what you'd say?
Yeah. I've been taking them out over the woods and stuff and having fun. It's just owning something that you always wanted as a kid was cool.
I know. The catalogue, Tony.
Yes. You've made it worse though, Frank, because Frank gave me a Tamiya catalogue for my birthday, and I'm like been flicking through it quite a lot of the evenings, going, "I want that next." Yeah. Frank made it worse.
That bike was actually a Tamiya. Well, it's Carson, which apparently is the German Tamiya, apparently. So, yeah. but they're big in the RC car market, aren't they, Tamiya?
Yeah.
And the
Win
other thing
Davis says, Tony, when and what's your next build? It'll probably be another Tamiya RC car, and it will be the Hot Shot, I think. Thanks to Frank, which is probably the most expensive one. There you go.
Well, I need you to keep streaming to keep me company.
We've got. I haven't just realised, but we've got Curry Kitten, but he's just on mute and not said anything. Hello, Wayne. Just thought,
Hi, Gary.
Acknowledge
You have to
you.
unmute yourself to speak.
He's probably been speaking out the whole time, but it's like hasn't realised he's muted.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
No, a couple of times I was just trying to get in and say how I'm late, but I was just about to talk about the Bifrost system. Then you guys were talking about it. I was like, how rude. They didn't even acknowledge me.
Come on then. What do you know about the Bifrost?
Well, I saw that video as well, but I was quite interested. I mean, the guy said, he's a Fat Shark fan and he knows Greg. So he put himself out there as being biased. But I thought it was interesting because the lack of that variable latency sounded interesting, but it did seem to me almost like it was a slightly out of focus camera. It was so soft compared to how sharp DJI seemed.
He was using the Bifrost camera, but Runcam have made a specific camera for the HD system, so I imagine that's going to improve because the HD feed's only going to be as good as the camera that it's using.
That's Chad's mate, isn't it? Was it Mark? Was it Mark?
I've seen him before. He has a lot to do with.
He's friends with Chad Nowak, isn't he?
I'm not sure about that, but when his video comes up, you see Impulse RC logos.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's friends with Chad.
Australian, but no, I was definitely interested. Though I'd love to check one out. I'll have to save up and buy one for when it comes out. But I thought it was interesting how. I don't know how true this is because I read it on a forum, but basically they said that Fat Shark are kind of letting go of the thing and making it open source to the community and sort of said, we're going to stick to goggles, we'll leave it up to other people to just
Bloods
like we did.
has just posted in the chat that the Bifrost only came with the Runcam Racer HD and is super sharp. He totally agrees Mark's was out of focus.
Yeah.
That's good news at least.
Bloods, would you like to come on next week and chat about it after your week of flying it? Answer in the chat.
Another thing that I just want to make sure that we cover on here, because Carl does, as well as the RC side of things, you also do quite a bit of VR and gaming.
That probably started 2 years ago. A friend of mine said, you like video games and do the drones and things. So he said, do you want to, work for me doing a VR company sort of thing? So I said, what's that? Come to the events, set up VR, play the VR, show customers how VR works. So and then it came to the point where 2 of the VR kits were left in my house for well over, got to be 3 or 4 months. And he said, you can play them all you want, you break them, you buy it again, you pay for it. I said, okay, no worries. So I had Oculus Rift and a HTC Vive and a PlayStation 4 VR. Fell in love with it, absolutely fell in love with VR. Then obviously they were gone out my house, and it was like this thing that I'd been, I'd seen from a childhood, and it was amazing. I'd been given access to it and then just been taken away from me. So for my birthday, I asked for the cheapest version of VR which you can get, which is PlayStation VR. I've already got a PS4. I got a PS4 VR kit for my birthday, and I haven't stopped. I mean, a lot of people get put off by VR because of vertigo, and I got it maybe for the first 48 hours of playing it. You just, anytime you go, you change altitude in VR, you just get a lurch in your stomach, and it can give you, a bit of motion sickness. But I just kept playing, and eventually it went away. And I absolutely love my PSVR kit now.
Yeah, I've got the PSVR. What's the flying game?
Ultra Wing.
Ace Combat.
DCS.
Oh, Ace Combat. I haven't seen that. Can you play that offline?
Yeah, it's really good.
You can.
Yeah,
it's because it's completely put me off it because I haven't got internet up at mine. I've just got data on my phone, so I can't justify spending I think it's 47 quid if I can't play the game without internet. But if you can play without online, I might get that.
It made me feel sick though, like literally.
Yeah.
Like an hour, and I had to put it down because I was just like, "Oh my god, this is so realistic." It was like actually felt like I was on a plane. It was. I haven't played it for a while, but.
Have you tried? Excuse me. Gran Turismo yet?
I saw that. I saw that as your last video. It looked great.
Yeah, Driving Simulator is amazing. I've unlocked two of the tracks. I need to unlock them all. You can get F1 cars on it as well. It's amazing. And I definitely need to get a steering wheel as well.
I'm hoping they add because Microsoft have picked up Flight Simulator again and are coming out with Flight Simulator 2020. I really hope they add VR to it. They don't have plans at the moment, but the way that system, there could be a whole episode on that.
It's where gaming's going now. I don't think in 20 odd years time everyone's going to be doing VR, but definitely more than now.
It's a simulation in a simulation in a simulation.
I played one today. Actually, I bought one today. I can't remember what it was called now. It was like you're on these islands and you can have a microlight and fly around. And
Ultra Wings, that'll be.
Ultra Wings, there you go. Because I felt sick in some of the like FPSs. Like I really like Resident Evil, and it's nice and scary in VR. But good,
I haven't opened it. I'm too scared.
Was I feeling sick? But that game, it must look hilarious to people watching me because you know how you can look over and sort of see you approach. Yeah. I was like poking my head out the window and looking down. I thought that was hilarious. Works really well, actually.
Can I just ask though, as somebody who had all three at one point, which one was your favourite out of?
This one now. So
this is where
definitely have to be HTC Vive. Definitely.
Really?
Just for it's a pain in the arse to set up. It was the longest to set up, but because both of the sensors are in the corner of the room, it just gave. There's a few times on PSVR or Oculus Rift, if the camera can't see you, it'll wobble around. It'll say out of area. Not one.
Was it the very first one though, or the actual retail one?
It would have been the very first one. I think it's not the brand new one with the cameras in, which is augmented. It was the one with the stir sensors all over here.
Yeah,
it's just the fact that you've got to set cameras up in the bloody corner of your room and all that, though, haven't you?
I mean,
and NJ, who comes on the show, he's trying to convince me to get the wireless one. He's like says I'm selling my.
I've played the wireless one too. It's amazing.
He says the resolution is so much better than that.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Can you just say it's only a little bit better? Because
it's the no wires that every now and then when you get a tug on your head or something like that, it's the fact you move and if it wasn't for the fact of the weight on your head, you would swear that you are where you are.
So your virtual sex life, Andy, is going to be so much better.
My virtual sex life is the same as my real sex life. Is non-existent.
No comment.
Yeah, well, you're hopeful, Tony. Can you do it? You can't do that on PlayStation, can you? You can't get the. You can't get.
I've heard that you can.
Asking for a friend.
I've heard from a friend that you can watch 360 VR lap dance videos on YouTube. I've heard from a friend.
Really?
Really? As long as your account is 18 plus, no problem. They don't get nude, but
it will do.
Yeah.
No, not for me. No, there needs to be hammers and saws involved for me.
Like on that note,
No, well, I was just going to say to tie up as the final question that we always seem to ask. What have you got planned for coming up on your channel, Carl? Or have you got any models or anything that you're thinking about building soon?
Yeah, I've got one building, but I don't want to give that one away. I tell you, the next one that's coming up. We're all British. We're all above the age of 20. Am I correct?
Yep.
Mentally,
probably not.
Mentally or physically is a big problem there.
The next project is going to be a come outside plane. I've got the missus is sculpting a tiny Mabel. And I've got a bright white plane that's getting polka dots all over it, and then I've got some smoke bombs which are hopefully going to go on the ends of the wings.
Yeah,
I'm going to make a come outside episode where I'm going to dress up as Auntie Mabel and do a little skit.
You're going to get Pippin on as well.
I've got a little Pippin as well. Not a real dog; it's a little toy dog. But yeah,
I don't know what is it.
I'm to fly.
Is this a TV show or something?
Yeah, the best TV
You've never
show.
seen Come Outside?
No,
I haven't.
Come on, Andy, you're
What are
Northern.
you talking about?
Yeah, under Dwayne Johnson.
Oh, I have only just stopped having a black and white TV, so you know.
Oh yeah, you're wanking with your Oculus Rift.
Come Outside was a lady where she teach. It was. Are you seeing How It's Made on YouTube? Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. So that it's like How It's Made, the British version, but she'd go from a back garden straight into I think it was a Piper. It was some plane anyway. She'd get in it with a dog, start the engine up. They'd fly somewhere. Somehow she'd land at a power plant, and then she'd show you around the power plant. But every single time she'd go out, she'd take this plane out.
What? And you don't believe the Earth's flat?
What? Where did that come from?
Well, you believe in these grannies flying around in planes and shit.
She was not a granny. She was a full-blown MILF.
Oh, was she hot?
She was in. Is it Open All Hours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, was she?
I remember in Open All Hours.
Oh, it's her.
It's Sandy Toksvig, then her. Kendall.
Well, I think now with that to look forward to, it's definitely the time to end the show. Jack, if you would.
Thank you very much for tuning in, listening to Let's Drone Out. Sorry it was a bit of a sort of false start, but tonight you've been joined by Andy RC.
Good evening, everyone.
Andrew/Frank.
Bye.
My Little Tony.
Bonjour.
Carl from Rclabbotics.
Thanks very much for joining us, guys.
Daddy Curry Kitten.
Hello and goodbye.
I've been Brighton to Life Live. Thank you very much. Special thank you to all our Patreons who keep us going. Don't forget, there was a bonus podcast for this month recorded on our Patreon. $3. You get it. You can also send us messages, abuse and hate. Thank you and good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.